Hello student, today we are going to start the second chapter of BSc Physics semester first, paper number 2. Title of the paper is Heat and Thermodynamics, and chapter number 2 we are going to start, that is having the title Real Gases. Okay. We know that there are three famous gas laws: Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac law. All these laws are based upon the empirical observations and describe the behavior of gas in macroscopic terms. What is meant by macroscopic terms? That means if we consider certain gas, it has the pressure, volume and temperature. And what is the relation between these variables, or how gas will behave if one variable changes with respect to other? That is described by these three laws: Boyle's law, Charles' law and Gay-Lussac law. So these are named as the ideal gas laws. And first one is the Boyle's law. It was stated in 1662 by the scientist Boyles, and its mathematical statement is PV is equal to constant at a constant temperature. What is mean by P into V, pressure into volume, is equal to constant at constant temperature. Or we can state the Boyle's law as pressure is inversely proportional to volume by keeping temperature constant, or at constant temperature pressure volume of the given mass given gas is inversely proportional to pressure, we can say. So here you may observe the animation for the Boyle's law. Here temperature is kept constant, and as the pressure changes, when pressure increases, volume decreases. When pressure decreases, volume increases. And here you may be observing the PV diagram of this change in pressure and volume. Relation between the volume and change in pressure you may be observing here. When the pressure becomes high, volume becomes low. When pressure becomes low, volume becomes high. So this is the Boyle's law in using the animation. Keeping temperature constant, volume is inversely proportional to pressure. When pressure increases, volume decreases. When pressure decreases, volume increases. I think this graph is, here there should be volume and here there should be pressure. Okay. So second law is the Charles law. Charles law, or the law of volume, it is named as the law of volume, and it is stated in 1787 by Jacques Charles. Okay, and what is its statement? V is equal to Ct at constant pressure. That means as at a constant pressure, Charles law is treated at constant pressure how volume changes according to temperature, that is stated by Charles. And according to this law, the volume is directly proportional to temperature at a constant pressure. That means if volume in temperature increases, volume also increases. If temperature decreases, volume also decreases. That is the Charles law. And you may observe again the animation for the Charles law. As temperature increases, volume increases. As temperature decreases, volume also decreases. So this is the pressure keeping constant, the relation between volume and temperature, or temperature and volume. As the temperature increases, here temperature is increasing from 250 to 450, and according to that volume also increases. This is named as the Charles law. And Then the Gay-Lussac law. Gay-Lussac law, or it is also named as the pressure law. It was found by Joseph Louis Gay-Lussac in 1809. And what is the law? It states that pressure exerted on a container's sides by an ideal gas is proportional to its temperature. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature. That is the Gay-Lussac law. Now, what is meant by ideal gas? An ideal gas is a gas whose pressure P, volume V and temperature T are related by the equation PV is equal to nRT. P is pressure, V is volume, T is temperature, and N is the number of moles of a gas. N, what is N? N is number of moles of a gas, and R is named as the universal gas constant or ideal gas constant. Okay, so that is the ideal gas. Now, how we can define the ideal gas? Ideal gas is defined as gas having molecules with negligible size with an average molecular kinetic energy dependent only on temperature. Molecules of the gas have negligible size and their molar kinetic energy is merely depending on the temperature. Such a gas is named as the ideal gas. At a low temperature, most of the gases behave enough like an ideal gas. If you consider the low temperature, then what will happen? All the gases, carbon dioxide or the oxygen, nitrogen, all these ordinary gases will behave like an ideal gas at a low temperature. Okay. Now let us consider the characteristics of ideal gas. An ideal gas is a theoretical gas. It cannot be existing. Composed of set of randomly moving non-interacting point particles. Okay. An ideal gas can follow the equation PV is equal to nRT exactly. An ideal gas is infinitely compressible. You may apply the excessive pressure, its volume goes on decreasing without converting into liquid. That means it is infinitely compressible. The particles of an ideal gas lose no energy to its container. It doesn't give its energy to container, whatever may be the volume. There is no attraction between the molecules of an ideal gas, and many gases such as air, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, noble gases and some heavier gases like carbon dioxide can be treated like ideal gases within reasonable tolerance. That means at low temperature and the medium pressure, we may say. And what is meant by real gases? Real gas does not always follow the formula PV is equal to nRT. It may not follow the formula. A real gas will condense to a liquid at some pressure. Here we have said an ideal gas is infinitely compressible. But if you go on compressing the real gas at some pressure and some temperature, it may be converted into the liquid. That means it will not remain in the gaseous state. A real gas conducts and radiates heat, thereby losing energy. Here we have stated the gas lose no energy to its container, but in reality what happens? Gases conduct and radiate heat and thereby they lose the energy to their container. Okay. A real gas has attraction in between their particles, and generally a gas behaves more like an ideal gas at higher temperature and lower density. That means at lower pressure. Okay, that is the difference between, or we may say we can compare the ideal gas and real gas. Now this is the ideal gas equation we have seen before. PV is equal to nRT, where P is equal to pressure, V is equal to volume, T is the temperature, R is the universal gas constant, and N number of moles in the gas. Okay, and the ideal gases are studied on the basis of kinetic theory of gases. Now, what are the postulates of the kinetic theory of gases? A gas consists of collection of small particles traveling in straight line motion and obeying Newton's laws. What is the first postulate? The gas consists of small teeny particles. They are traveling in along straight line, and during this straight line motion they obey the Newton's laws. The molecules in gas occupy no volume. That means if you compare the total volume of the gas molecules as compared to the container, then it is just negligible. That means molecules in a gas occupy no volume, and that is they are point masses. Collision between molecules are perfectly elastic. The gas molecules, of course, they are colliding with each other, but their collision is perfectly elastic in nature. That means their energy does not losses. That is, no energy is gained or lost during the collision. There is no attractive or repulsive forces between the molecules. This is very important postulate of the kinetic theory of gases. There are no attractive or repulsive forces between the molecules. This is one very important postulate, and this is another very important postulate. The molecules in a gas occupy no volume. The average kinetic energy of molecule is 3 kT by 2. T is absolute temperature and K is named as the Boltzmann constant. These are the postulates of kinetic theory of gases, on the basis of which the ideal gas equation is supposed to be applicable to the ordinary gases.